Hey guys, this is Scott Lester with Scott Lester Drafting and Design. I wanted to come to you today with another video. This video is actually in thanks to a Facebook comment on how to do frame design in a group that I'm in. So I was going to create a quick video for that user, and following that I'll go ahead and upload it to my YouTube channel here for any of you Solid Edge users that also want to know how to use frame design. I'm going to try to keep it short and simple and go from there. So in frame design, it's a little different than, say, doing normal part modeling and assembly. Frame design is not that. It's basically taking a 3D sketch or a 2D sketch and applying frame profiles, kind of like you're doing a sweep or a loft. Much more a sweep because you're doing it along paths. And you can change those paths, and you can also kind of set how your joints are going to be, if they're mitered, if they're butt joints, things like that. So very quickly, this is done in the assembly environment within Solid Edge. So I'm going to start a new NC assembly here. Right. Now that also being said, you need a good frame profiles folder, and for all of my Solid Edge stuff I have it set to my Google Drive. I go to Solid Edge here and I've got a folder called frames, and you can also find this within wherever your default settings are for your Solid Edge, and you can copy all of that stuff over to a folder. I keep everything on the cloud, so everything's here, and here you can see I've got some building extrusions, some sign extrusion for the sign industry. But if I go to ANSI, you can see I've got aluminum angle, channel, flat bar, height. These are all wood. It's fantastic ability. Like I've built wooden decks in Solid Edge using nominal wood feature profiles. And so what a profile looks like is, and it's really easy to create. So I'm going to open up one, for instance, an aluminum angle. It's 2 by 2 by 8 inch thick, and you can see you simply just create your extrusion and just give it a finite length. I think I usually do like 1 or 2 inches, and then you save it to that folder, and that can be used as a profile. I mean, it's nothing special. I've got the material set, I've got the sketch here, and I've got the protrusion. So that is what a profile looks like, but in order to use that for frame design, and I do have Solid Edge Foundation, so this is available in the lowest possible thing of Solid Edge that you can get. But within the assembly mode, you will go over to Tools, and you'll click on Frame. Now when you get your frame, now you're ready to start sketching. So let's say I'm just going to do a very simple box here. I'm going to draw a sketch, and this is just my method. You can, of course, your design intent may be different than mine, but just to do a simple box, I start with a 2D sketch. And let's say this box is 4 foot by 4 foot by inch rotation, and that sets kind of my base up of my frame, and it's just a simple 2D sketch. Then I'll switch to a 3D sketch. So I will click 3D, and again, if you want to use all 2D sketches, you can. It's just again, this is my method for how I do it. So I'm up here, and I'm going to draw a few of these up the upper legs of it, and we're also going to apply some relationships. So I want this and this equal that equal, and apply dimension to it. I want this to be 4 foot as well. Alright, and then align here, there. There's my 3D sketch. So here in the Pathfinder, you can see I've got my 3D sketch, which is the bottom, and then I've got the 3D sketch, which is everything else. Now at this point, you can add more members in. So let's say I go, once I'm happy with a simple box here, I can go to my frame. I'm still in my frame command, but I've got another one here called frame as well. So I'll click there, and here is in your toolbar you're going to select what kind of features you want. So here are some of the previous ones I've used, and I want to see what's available. So I'll go back here, and this is where your default location is. Your C drive, program file, Siemens, whatever version it's all is having frame. But again, I copied all that out into a Google Drive for me. So I've got my frames here, and they're fancy. And let's say rectangular aluminum square tubing. I'm going to do 2 by 2 by 8, or not 8 by 3/16. I think. Once I've selected it here, I'm ready. You can see I'm already in the select the path. Now, and this is where your order of operations is going to matter. So I'm going to select all of these first. Now I'm not going to select everything, and I'm going to right click, enter, and then by default it's giving me, and yours may pop up a dialog box, but I've got mitered corners, and you can see it centered the profile in the center of the box. All right. I can click here and go to my options. This is probably the box that popped up. I've got mine to uncheck, so I don't want it to show when the command begins. And here you can say, well, I want to do but my joints instead. So if I hit apply, you can see here that now I get that effect, and it automatically trims as needed. This one, it's if I go back to options, you can choose like this, and it will possibly change. Sometimes it doesn't. Let's try to play that, see if it doesn't. It's not doing anything. So what I do is an easier way to change how it does your corners. Anyways, I'll show you how. Let's say you want this to be the long side and this to be the short side, where how this is in between the two ways. I'm not finished yet with this set. I want, I did a 4x4 box. I want everything to sit inside that envelope, and right now it's not. So if I would have finished this box out, it would be bigger than 4 foot by 4 foot. So I will click this edit cross section, accept it, and I'm going to change my handle point. And when I do that, you can see here that I get these little red dots. I can use that, or I can click this button and change and use key points like midpoint, stuff like that. I'm just going to choose this red dot here. So now you see it through everything to the inside, and I'm going to hit finish. Then I will do it again. So frame, and I want this dot, and here I'm just going to select one at a time, because sometimes if you select all these verticals at the same time, it doesn't do it correctly as far as placement. And then you go to change using the handles, and it moves all of them. So right click, that one did good. Finish. Do it again. And this step on a box normally is putting them in the right location. Can't describe how or why, but it does. Right. Now I'm going to do all of these at the same time. What I told you earlier is your order of operation does matter. And since I did these before this, it trimmed all of my upper in a manner that I didn't want. So I will go back here. I'm going to delete what I just done real quick. And let's go back to frame and choose these guys first. Once again, that one, and choose profile to the top right corner, so it goes to the inside like I want. And finish. And this one, and that one, and that one. And just for the sake of it, I want to show you if it doesn't, because your behavior may not do this. Like I said, sometimes it may rotate it in a manner that you're not doing. So I'll you can choose your options here, and you can also do this. Let's say you want to do 90, 180, and it'll do that. So your orientation can matter. And very quickly I've created the box. So if I can close, and now you can see it's got a frame components there, and there it is. The other thing you can do is once you've got some frames, you can click sketch, and you can choose faces, for instance. And say you want, you want a vertical in between here and here. You can draw it. You got the tools. Frame, choose that one, choose frame one more time, and then choose edit cross section, separate, and then go that right there. Now I have a frame in the middle. One thing I will say, be careful is whenever if you're drawing a sketch and using a frame face, if you change this frame profile, then that particular sketch will become, it will break the sketch. So just be very careful doing that. I'm actually going to delete it. The better thing to do would be just to hide all of this, go back to your sketch, sketch here, and edit it, and just draw another vertical in using the sketch method. There it is. This one, the Haven frame. I don't know what sound it is doing right now, but it's not working out for me to do it here. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Maybe shows the wrong thing. There we go. Close. Just kind of like to show all these again. Go back into tools. Frame. Options. And now it is also successfully trimmed that away. So that is a very quick method. I will put a more in-depth video because there's so much more to cover in frame design. It doesn't always behave like you want it to as well. But that's just very quickly how to build using the frame design. And then the other thing is if you say you start a new drawing, so file. Drawing about the model. That. There we go. And then I can always go to my parts list. Okay. And I already have this default parts list set up, but if I go to the options, I have a column in here called length. So I was able to choose that from down here. The other thing you can do is you can also add right hand angles. So the miter cut 1, miter cut 2. So if you do have mitered cuts, and I'll show you that too real quick. So let's actually add those real quick. So miter cut 1, not the big one. Miter cut 1, miter cut 2. It's going to say 0 degrees right now because I don't have any miters. But what's cool about frame design is you can go back to the model, and let's say for this guy, the options or edit feature, in my options here, and I want to change that to a mitered one. Right now it's mitered. You can't see it because of this guy. But I do have a mitered one there. There you go. And then same thing here, go to frame in, edit feature, and change that to mitered. And now you can see it go mitered. And then goes out of that, go back to my graph. Okay, and now you see I get a 45 model 1 and 45 model 2. Again, frame design pretty strong, and I've only just scratched the surface, but again, this is just a very quick video on how this is all done. I will go more in depth when I get a little more time here, but hopefully that helps you out.